Right then, ladies and gents, welcome to the channel, or welcome to the video. Yes, that's right, Lord of the Rings is not diverse enough. Now, I was sent this over on Twitter by a subscriber, follower, Dietrich Cusco. I probably butchered that, and I really am sorry. My British tongue is not that great with names, so I do apologise. But thank you so much for sending me this, dude, and thank you so much for being a subscriber, being part of the channel. If you want to engage with me over on Twitter, please do, at Mr. H Reviews. Now, again, this article is linked down below, but what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Mortal Kombat's Ludi Lin calling out Lord of the Rings TV show, the Amazon series, for a lack of diversity. Now, J.R.R. Tolkien, look, it's not exactly... It's comical because you have to understand and appreciate that J.R.R. Tolkien, a Brit, a man who, you know, essentially a scholar, a linguistics genius, a man who created the languages in his world, would have based all of this on, or most fantasies anyway, on sort of medieval, middle, well, I guess Norse in some aspects, but it's set very much in like an Anglo-Saxon or Anglophile world, because that was his world, and being his creation, being his property, and now obviously the Tolkien estate, Amazon can't actually change stuff even if they wanted to. They have to have things approved by the Tolkien estate. So Ludi Lin, not only is he a moron for saying this, because he doesn't quite understand how the rights deal for Lord of the Rings works, re the Tolkien estate, but also he's a massive hypocrite. This is a Chinese-born Canadian actor, so I haven't seen you criticise China, Ludi Lin, for the lack of diversity in China. So, I mean, I guess grab them woke points whenever you can. And it's painful as well, just because I quite liked him in Mortal Kombat, but he's definitely gone down in my books for this. It's just nonsense. Creating a problem where there doesn't need to be one. You know, it's not a problem that J.R.R. Tolkien, a Brit, set his world in his world, what he saw. Very Anglo-Saxon. I just don't... Where's the problem? Where is the issue? You know? But let's dive into this. This article is linked down below. Also linked down below in the description box is my second channel. I'm actually very much into my cars, if you didn't know. And I'm rebuilding a Group A Rally homologation special car. It's a Nissan Pulsar GTI-R. And you can find a link to that channel in the description box. Please do check it out. Love to have you over there. But anyway, look, actor Ludi Lin calls out Amazon's new Lord of the Rings show for its lack of diversity in a tweet. Lin stars in the Mortal Kombat movie as Liu Kang, a warrior monk who helps guide the Earthrealm's heroes in the discovery of their abilities. The film is based off of the famed arcade-style fighting games and is a reboot of the 90s film series of the same name. Mortal Kombat, obviously, mixed reviews and things like that, praised for its diverse casting and showcasing of martial arts in well-executed fight scenes. Lin, a Chinese-born Canadian actor, has also appeared in films like Power Rangers and Aquaman. So, Mortal Kombat, currently playing in theatres and HBO Max. Amazon is preparing to breathe new life into a very different franchise, The Lord of the Rings. Originally announced in 2017, the series is already slated for multiple seasons and a huge budget. And it's going to take place well before the events of The Hobbit, because it has to, because again, that's part of the rights deal. It's part of what the Tolkien estate said. You cannot set this in any of the stories that have been told. It has to be told previously. Or well, after the fact. It cannot be related to stories that have actually been told. That's part of how this works. Now, the show continues to make headlines as more information about the show comes out, though no trailers or release dates have been dropped as of yet. One of the newest stories to hit the news cycle about the show was about the massive budget that Amazon is putting forward for the making of the show. One such article was published May 12th by IndieWire. The headline would read, Amazon boss justifies Lord of the Rings $465 million budget. Huge world building required. Now, he doesn't have to justify anything. He's the boss of Amazon. If he wants to give it this budget, then that's the budget that it gets. Why does he have to justify it? What utter nonsense is this? I don't see Marvel justifying their $1 billion or $500 million budget for Marvel movies. You know, for the Avengers and things like that. Where are they justifying it? Well, we don't get that sort of nonsense, do we? And they're not very diverse. I didn't see Lynn calling them out. Again, just utter nonsense. Now, Lynn would tweet this article to his 38.8 thousand followers, directly calling out head of Amazon Studios Jennifer Salk by saying that it's hard to justify the creation of such a huge world without any characters that look Asian. No, it is. It is. Just like Asian cinema doesn't have many, if any, characters that look white. Just why are we doing this double standard crap? And this is his tweet. It's going to be difficult to justify building a huge world without any characters that look Asian. Turn that imagine on us, Jay Salk. It's not hard. We're right there, or we're right here. Amazon boss justifies Lord of the Rings $465 million budget. Huge world building. What are you talking about, mate? What are you talking about? It doesn't have to have Asians in it. It doesn't have to have anyone. I don't see anyone calling out the fact there's no Pakistanis in it. Like, I don't see anyone calling out the fact there's no Indians in it. What are you doing? Take that chip off your shoulder, mate. You're not wearing it well. Of the 30 plus cast members announced for the series, the vast majority appears to be white or white passing. What is this? What is white passing? What does that mean? Oh, I could pass as white. Is this the world we're in now? If it is, I want to shoot myself in the head. Anyway, though it is hard to determine at this point how big of a role each cast member will actually be playing in the series. I love this. Well, they're all white, basically, or white passing, but actually we don't know how big of a role they're going to play, so we can't actually be outraged at this moment. That's basically what they're saying. Diversity has been a hot topic, not just in Hollywood, but in the fantasy genre at large, with fantasy franchises like Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and The Lord of the Rings being re-examined through new intersectional lenses. Oh yes, intersectionality, I love it. Though some of these stories may provide allegories for race, many fantasy series draw on medieval and Norse mythos for inspiration, and thus become rooted in an inherent whiteness. Mate, if I write an article saying, oh, it's steeped in blackness, I'd get called out as a racist. This is nonsense. Before even taking shape, and while J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings series is no doubt one of the most influential of the fantasy genre, it defined fantasy. It defined it. There are facets like race that have not aged well over the years, and that could be addressed in a new show like Amazon's. No, it actually can't. It actually can't. It has to pass via the Tolkien estate, and if they say no, it can't. Do you not understand that, you utter plebs? And it's fine to have a show that's steeped in whiteness. What's wrong with that? It's written by a Brit, England, Anglophile. What's wrong with it being Anglo-Saxon based? What is wrong with that? You tell me, without sounding like a bigot or a racist. Anyway, Salk has not seemed to respond to Lynn's tweet in any way. Why would she? But the original tweet is being met with overall praise and positive reception. Well, of course it would, because you've got to get them points. Even though it is nowhere near trending at the time of this article's publication. This is not the first time Lynn has used his platform to speak up in favour of diversity and against anti-Asian sentiments. In an interview with South China Morning Post, he spoke about the recent rise in anti-Asian violence and stated, I want to do my part in transforming these feelings into positive action to prevent tragedies like these from repeating. Fine, sure, that is awful, of course, but I don't see you pointing the same lens to the CCP with what they do in their own country. So you are a hypocrite, you are a douche canoe, and Lord of the Rings is diverse enough because it was written by a Brit. It is steeped in, well, it's Anglophile, alright? There's nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with loving America, there's nothing wrong with loving Britain and England and Anglo-Saxon history, heritage, etc. You've got a problem with that, you sound like a bigot, you sound like a racist, and you should probably start turning that intersectional lens on yourself, you utter scum. Anyway, thanks so much. Take care.